What is it that they say about toxic attracting toxic? Because seriously, my head exploded when I saw this. A sequel to my Megxit front page in The Sun a few years back. Bexit, because Harry and Meghan are now advising Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz about how to destroy families. Well, that is something they know a lot about. We'll come to that in just one moment. But first, Meghan is trying to rebrand her flop era, her disaster era, as her concert era, as she drags a rough-looking Prince Harry to go and see James Taylor in San Diego. And goodness gracious me, he ain't looking good, is he? He is not looking good. Nancy Sidley posted on this. Could you imagine being so desperate that you're constantly posting pics on Instagram to prove that you are happy? That is so 2012. And she added, someone should break it to Meghan that she's in her hashtag flop era. P. Diner, royal YouTube sensation, joins me now. I mean, we had the Beyonce concert, show of love. We have the James Taylor concert show of love. But P. Diner, it almost feels like with every move that Meghan makes to try and convince us that Harry is so happy and so good looking, the guy looks more drug-addled and more miserable by the minute.
It is so exhausting. I could not believe that they were at a James Ingram concert. I mean,
James
I don't
Taylor.
I'm sorry, Taylor. Ingram is another singer. Yeah, actually, I did a music video with him. Okay, but anyway, it's exhausting because Megan is just trying to prove so much. Why is she doing this? Where are these children? It's almost like she's trying to find relevance by having these photo ops and these places to go, and she's busy and doing things and looking relevant, but it's not sustainable. It just looks like she's showing her desperation. And Harry, yeah, like you said, he looks miserable. He can't be happy. I think it's a way to get his mind off of his real problems. And it just is not going to work because they're going to follow him wherever he goes. I don't care no amount of photos and appearances here and there, or dancing, or making yourself look like you're having the best life ever is going to change the reality of your circumstances that we all see. It's just going to give us the information or the proof that we need, that you are going down and you're trying to stay afloat by posting photos to make us look like, or to make yourself look like you're doing great. And we know it's not the truth. I
Totally.
mean, how can that be?
Totally. But P. Diney, you know my theory on this, and I stand by it, and I'm pretty certain that I'm correct, is that this is all part of Meghan's decision to flood the zone because she knows just how badly the BBC interview went down with Prince Harry. She knew just how devastating the druggy doorbell picture is. Because, I mean, P. Dinah, this is actually, I would argue, the most damaging royal photograph since Prince Andrew was pictured in Central Park with Jeffrey Epstein, because this one frame of Prince Harry blows to a million pieces this whole argument that things are as good as they've ever been, that actually all he needs is security and the life is going to be fine. It's like you're going up and down a random street in London with no one by your side, not your security detail, not your friends, looking for God knows what. And look, the thing with Meghan, we know she's addicted to fame. She's addicted to coverage. She's addicted to driving the narrative. But in this case, I think she also does realize she has to deal with the car crash that her husband has left behind over the past couple of weeks. So it's like, James Taylor, okay, I don't know any of your songs. I've got no idea who your son is, but yep, I'm going to get in the car and come to San Diego because we need to be backstage because Beyonce didn't let us come backstage, but you will, and we'll put the Instagram pictures up and we'll get another headline.
Right, the desperation. This woman, that just shows you all the other things that she puts out there. She's constantly plotting with
Always.
the photos, the
Always.
articles, the leaks to newspapers about stories. She is doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and Harry is the one that is made to look like, he is the roaming idiot in town. I mean, what in the world is he doing? It just proves this man doesn't know anything about real life. He can't even find his way to where he is going. I mean, really, Harry is a lost dog, and Meghan is trying to guide him, and that's disaster for him in his life. And I can't understand, or why hasn't he figured it out yet? Or like, will it ever get better for Harry? No, it won't. It will get
Well,
worse
the
and
problem is,
worse.
P. Diner, and he has admitted, by the way, a large drug usage for many, many years. And one
Mm,
problem is, and we've seen this a lot in showbiz. I mean, I previously in my former life as an entertainment correspondent saw up close the damage that drugs and fame have done to people like Justin Bieber and Britney
yeah.
Spears. The list goes on, Lindsay Lohan, and you can just see that. I mean, the past 5 years have been devastating for him on so many levels. So I think you can't get away from the fact that there has been some type of abuse of himself, which has certainly weakened the brain power, put him in this delusional place where he thinks he can be calling the shots with his father and his brother after everything that he did. There's also just a degree of blind stupidity. He's always had that, but he was previously protected when he was in the royal family. I've got to ask you though, P. Diner, what do you think James Taylor was thinking? Because what we have noted, and we've spoken about a lot over the past few months, is that A-list celebrities, even if they have personal, private sympathy towards Harry and Meghan, have realized that it is completely toxic to be linked personally. Do you think James Taylor is just so big, so successful? I mean, come on, he's one of the world's greatest songwriters that he just doesn't care. And the fact that his son was in the photo seems to suggest, I would argue, that this has been something that the son has said, oh, Dad, can you do this for me?
Yeah, I can't imagine that he really knows much about them or is thrilled to be there in a photo with them. And he takes pictures with people, all the time. And I think they're just another, couple that wants to take a picture. And oh, okay, so the royal family, okay. He's a legend. I mean, I love him and his music. I can't really see the Megan being someone that's a fan of him. I think, yeah, it's just one of those opportunities to take a photo with somebody who is a
Oh, come on, she's not a
celebrity.
fan of anyone.
Right. You know that old line, toxic attracts toxic? Well, I nearly spat out my tea when I saw this latest drama. If you thought the Megxit headlines were wild, buckle up, because here comes B-Exit. Yes, B-Exit, where Harry and Meghan are allegedly dishing out how to destroy your family advice. To Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz. I mean, if anyone's an expert on blowing up a family, it's these two, right? But before we get to the Beckhams, Meghan is clearly on a one-woman mission to rebrand her disaster era. She's dragging a gloomy Prince Harry from concert to concert, Beyoncé one week, James Taylor the next, posting grinning snaps on Instagram as if that'll convince us they're living their best lives. Honestly, it's exhausting. Meghan's in her concert era, but let's be real, she's still in her flop era. And poor Harry? He looks more lost than ever, like he'd rather be literally anywhere else. Now, let's talk about this so-called secret meeting. According to reports, Meghan and Harry had Brooklyn and Nicola over for dinner in Montecito, all smiles and empathy as they offered support during the Beckham's family spat. Very convenient, especially since it's Meghan's camp accused of leaking stories to the press, while blaming Victoria Beckham for it, I might add. Classic Meghan, throw someone under the bus, then hand them the roadmap to family chaos.
She isn't
No,
a
not
fan
at
of anyone. She
all.
has no true passion for anyone, does she? There's never been
No,
any inclination or inkling from her that she's a fan of James Taylor. She's never used his
never.
music in any of her works. So
Right.
I don't think that. Fans, I think James Taylor, and by the way, I'm a huge fan. I mean, he's a complete legend. One of my dad's
Yeah.
favorite artists, actually. I've seen him live numerous times. It is a great show. But he's
Yeah.
considered to be pretty much on the left as well. So there is maybe some
Right.
type of political alignment. Although I will add, even celebrities on the left, P. Diner, have been staying as far away possible from Harry and Meghan lately because they just realise that these two are completely radioactive. But speaking of radioactive, an extraordinary story revealed by The Sun this morning. Brexit. Now, we knew that Harry and Meghan, and I was even discussing it a couple of weeks ago, were providing a, how do I put it, sort of like a plan for Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz, that they were following in their footsteps in terms of how do we take a Nepo baby situation and make us the star couple, pulling along our sort of stupid Nepo baby partners for the ride, because clearly I would argue in both cases it is Nicola Peltz and Meghan Markle that is driving what is going on. But how extraordinary to learn that Meghan and Harry are actually advising Brooklyn and Nicola up close in person. And there are so many strands to this, P. Diner, as well, because you think about the fact that previously David and Victoria Beckham were close to Meghan and Harry until I revealed all of those years ago that they had accused Posh Spice ludicrously of leaking to the newspapers. Trust me, I worked to newspapers for years and years and years. Victoria Beckham doesn't like us. She doesn't leak the stories. She wasn't leaking the stories. The leaking was being done from your side, Meghan and Harry. So the fact that you threw them under the bus was despicable. Obviously, we even had a situation where Beckham went with his kids to Australia for the Invictus Games, only to be snubbed by Prince Harry. So you've got that going on. Then you've got the fact that the royal family has closely aligned with David and Victoria over the past couple of years, almost viewed them as a glamorous replacement to the Sussexes at major events. And just this week, we can take a look at it, Catherine emerges in the Victoria Beckham pantsuit, proving that not only can she wear that type of outfit so much better than Meghan Markle, who can't seem to find an iron. But critically, and this was briefed, by the way, that Catherine's sartorial choice was a nod to the Beckhams, a sort of acknowledgement. You're going through a difficult time. We know what it's like for your family to be torn apart. So that's sort of the scene setting, isn't it, P. Diner? Because it's quite crazy that amidst all of that, Brooklyn and Nicola would think, oh yeah, the people we want to be going with are Harry and Meghan.
Well, see, I find this story very interesting, and I almost don't believe that it is true. I think that it was a leaked story by Meghan, unbeknownst to Harry, because, like you mentioned, Catherine had wore this beautiful suit designed by Victoria, and the alignment of Princess of Wales to Victoria, I think rubbed Meghan the wrong way. She wanted to grab some of that spotlight and put out a story that she was speaking with the son of Victoria and David to make it look like she has a connection to the Beckhams when she truly doesn't. I mean, this was supposed to be a secret meeting. How did it get out into the press? Who are the sources for this story? It doesn't make sense that they would be aligned with Meghan. They're not even following her on Instagram. So it seems like Meghan has had something put out there. We know she's known to do that. And she has also met with the lady, or I think the person that wrote that for The Sun was someone that has met with Meghan in the past when Meghan was trying to get columns in the newspaper. So Meghan is accustomed, or she has been known to leak stories. And I think that's what she's done. And think about it. The birthday celebrations for David was, when was that? Why is this story just now coming out now? You know? I think it is a setup by Meghan. I don't think there is a connection to the Beckhams to Meghan and Harry with any advising or anything like that. It just doesn't make sense that they would be.
But here's the thing, right? The only way these secret dinners and swapped phone numbers end up in the Sun is if someone from the Sussex side wants it out there. Meghan's obsessed with controlling the narrative, and this is her way to stay relevant, by stirring up more drama, this time with the Beckhams in her sights. Meanwhile, Harry's caught on a doorbell camera, wandering London like a lost puppy, far from the days of royal security and lavish palaces. It's honestly tragic. And where's Meghan? Off plotting her next revenge move against Victoria Beckham, apparently. If you ask me, this is less about supporting Nicola and more about getting payback on Posh for daring to choose the royal family over Meghan. Here's the bottom line. Meghan's toxic playbook isn't fooling anyone. The harder she pushes the happy couple narrative, the more desperate it all looks. She's been caught leaking, manipulating, playing victim. While real families like the Beckhams stick together, Meghan's only skill seems to be tearing them apart. So, is Meghan Markle masterminding a new feud, or is she just spiraling, desperate to stay in the limelight? Let me know what you think. Hit like, subscribe for more no-nonsense royal tea, and drop your thoughts below. Because trust me, this drama is nowhere near finished.